Alrighty. Hey there. This has been a while since I made a video. But let's work on a fence. Alrighty, so the plan with this whole thing is really just to get most of the structural parts of it redone. As you can see down there, there's some parts over here. We want to get all that growth cleared out of the fence there, so that way we can repair that. There's some parts down yonder that need repaired, and then on the other side of this shed, but we aren't going to worry about that right now. We're just going to do this main section of fence here. I'll probably start on that end and work my way down, save this apple tree bit for last, because that's going to be the hardest part, but I think that'll be all right. So really the plan with this project is to, as you saw, get all those structural integrity bits all done up, get it belt sanded so it's all smooth and ready to be painted, and then paint it hopefully. This is a multi-day process. Won't even get barely any of it done tonight. Probably won't make even much of a dent, but might as well get it started. So yeah, let's get this thing started. Alrighty, so our first course of action with this whole kit and caboodle is taking out all these bad nails and replacing them with good old screws. Got ourselves some 1.5 inch screws here. We're just going to replace all the nails with screws because that'll really help with our structural integrity. Up here we already have some screws in, but I think these are a little bit long for what the fence post allows for, so I guess we'll see, but those might be replaced as well. A little interesting thing about this fence is this is the original fence when the house was built, and the house was built about in the 60s, so this is a very old fence. It's quite amazing it's withstood all this Wyoming wind that we have, and then all the abuse of just Mother Nature in general. And those are much more solid than they were before. That's much better than what we had. That's about half a fence post done. We still have the other side of the fence to do, and then the rest of the posts. So I suppose got our work cut out for us. So, woo. So here we got more of some stuff to remove than just the nails, because we had some family come on over, and they had dogs. So now we have to take all this chicken wire out in order to gain access to the nails to pull them out. So here we go. Just got a pair of standard Lymans here. Pull these out. Okay, there we go. Sprinklers in the way. There we go. Alrighty. So now we got that all situated. Now we're just gonna do the same thing we did over there. It's got a mind of its own. Now, I could replace all this wood too, but with the cost of lumber these days, I mean, I really don't want to, just because it's so doggone expensive. Some of these might need to be replaced, but as of right now, we're just going to deal with what we got, solely because I'm a high schooler, I don't have any money, and, well, lumber is expensive, so even my dad doesn't want to pay for it. So, it makes sense to just use what we got. Oh, there it is. So the reason I chose these 1.5 inch screws is because it's just long enough to be able to make it just through these two here, these two pieces of wood. But there's this metal bar back here, and I don't really want to drill any screws into that, otherwise they won't go any farther. So that's the reason I chose these, if you were wondering. Now this board down here is going to be a little interesting with this massive split in it, but I think we'll make do. Like over there, it's much more solid now, which is exactly what we want. So on to the next post. Oh, golly. Now, that there is not a fence post. That is just a little, as you can see up there, we have the bird feeder. That was just a little something that we put up for ornamentation. Probably I'll leave it there. Probably I'll have to take it down to redo the fence, but we'll probably put it back. Finally! Oh my gosh! Now I would like to just take a brief moment and talk about the design of this fence. Maybe it's because I'm new to this whole woodworking thing. Maybe it's because I've never worked on a fence before. I don't know. But I just think it's interesting the way that this is. It's these 1 by, I'd probably say 5, 6s that are all put together, but they're like interlinked around these fence posts. So this, we'll just take this one. We'll just take this one for example here. We have this board and it goes back behind this post and then it comes back out the other side over there. I just think that's really interesting. It works. I mean, it's a very good way of having a fence. I mean, obviously you can tell it's lasted this long, but I just kind of find that to be interesting, the way that that's working. And it was at this very moment that my camera died. So now we're going to have to skip on over to my iPhone, which I recorded on very spottily, but you should be able to get the gist of what I did. So a lot of these nails are turning out quite a lot like this, solely because, like I was saying, these fence posts are here. So when they drove these nails in, they just keep driving them in until they hit the post, and then they just bend around this wood. So that's an issue. And then there's another issue here. This was once part of this board, but all the way down to the ground, it's just split. So we're gonna have to work on that at a point in time. So whilst off camera, I took a table saw and I had a 4x4, so I just cut it into little 2x2s. So now I'll be able to use that to fix that broken board. Alrighty, so it's a new day. Camera batteries are fully charged. Got some good night's sleep. So just to recap on what we did last night, we worked on all these fence posts down there, the last 3. Now we're needing to work on this one. I was going to take this little post that we had up for ornamentation that was like right in this bush here with the birdhouse on it. I was going to take that and put it in there, but I decided against that, and like I showed last night with my phone, I cut that 4x4 into 2x2s. So now we're going to run that 2x2 in there. But first I need to go get some bolts. So we're going to take a quick trip to Sutherland's and just look at that. Alright, so it's been a couple of weeks. I filmed that stuff like 3 weeks ago now, and now we're here. I've been doing some marching band stuff. I've been doing a lot of other work for my other jobs, things like that. It's fine. We're back at it. Now let's explain how we're going to put that support post in to replace the split board. So it's pretty simple how it's going to be done. I ran to that Sutherland's, it's a hardware store here in town, and got these 5-inch long bolts with some washers and a nut. So I just got those 2x2s, drilled a hole in it, and then drilled a hole in the metal post. This will go through the 2x2 metal post and come out the other side. I'll have a washer on the head side, and I'll put a washer sandwiching in between the two, and then I'll just put the nut on there to tighten it all down. Pretty simple. I got 4 of these, so we'll see if 4 will hold it. I'm sure it will, no problem. So since it's been so long since I filmed, I actually had to put the chicken wire back because we didn't want it all spooled up over here. We didn't want anything coming through the fence from that side, so we had to put that up. So now I gotta take it all down, and then we can start working on that post again. Alrighty. So off camera, a long while back, I actually did drill some holes. You can see here, there's a hole there, 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 and there. But when I drilled it, I didn't drill them right. I also drilled through this metal post too, but I drilled it, like there's this bolt here. So the bolt, this one, oh Lord have mercy. There it is. So this bolt here won't actually go through this post because there's the bolt in the way there. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm going to re-drill the holes in the metal post first. So that way, when I do that, then I can just mark through where they need to go on the board, and then I will just drill the holes on the board and hope for the best on that. I swear this thing's gonna start looking like a cheese grater though if I keep messing up. So I gotta be careful. So I decided that the only one that needed to be fixed was this one, the one with the bolt in the way there, just so that way the bolt, the bolt that's gonna be for the fence post doesn't have to try to go through that. I would like to preemptively apologize for the wonky exposure. I just wanted you to be able to see this hole here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see it just a wee bit better than that even. So I'm gonna just be drilling right above it, right about there. I have some WD-40 here that'll act as a lubricant for the drill bit as I'm drilling through. So I guess there's nothing left to it but to do it. I think my battery's dead. There it is. Another interesting little thing about WD-40 is it actually kills earwigs. So if you have an earwig problem, just take some WD-40 to them and it kills them. Ready. So you can see this is the old hole here. This is our new hole. So put it in this side and it should come out that side. Perfect. So that it will be the perfect fit. That's exactly what we wanted. So now let's get our board in. We might have to actually get a new board because I left this one outside, and as you can see, it is significantly warped. So probably have to get a new board and just drill in. Thankfully I have 3 more of these, but we will see first before we get a new board. Alrighty, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the drill and I'm going to put the board where it's touching the ground right here, and then we'll just drill a hole in. Ah, crap. Alrighty, so where we're at right now is I've started drilling holes. So I started up here with this bolt hole, got it all the way through the wood, and then I just put the first bolt in. So that way, when I start drilling all these holes, they're aligned perfect. So I wanted to explain that with here, I've drilled through this post, but as you can see, it's not quite long enough to get all the way through the wood. So I've just drilled a starter hole in the wood, so that way I can take out this top bolt, finish all the holes, put it back in, and then it'll be perfect.
Oh, Tyler, if you only knew.
So now I'm gonna start working on these bottom two. And like I showed, this board is severely warped, so I'm gonna have to try to really squish it in order to get it properly aligned. Okay, so now I should have all these semi-drilled out the way they should be. So now we're gonna take it out and get it to work. And just drop that nut. There you are. So you can see that this wood is starting to kind of look like a cheese grater as well. But I've got my started holes, so now I'm just gonna drill the rest of the way through those and see what we can do. Okay, I do believe that this is our top one, yeah. So this one's already good up here. Now we just gotta get through this one here. Okay. Our bolt should go through all these bad boys. Perfect, 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 and perfect. Okay, so now let's get this put back in the post or in the fence here, and we'll start running some bolts. All right, let's cross our fingers and hope this works. We'll start with our top bolt again. Alrighty, top bolt in. Next one down. Actually, we're gonna go down to the very bottom. Get this one through. Drat. Alrighty, so just so we can like skip through all of that gibberish that was me trying to put up this one post here, I'm just gonna explain what happened. So that hole down there was giving me a whole bunch of problems since the board was so warped. I had to like try to push it and everything, and I figured out that I couldn't do it with my strength, so I had to go run and grab a clip real quick, and then I clamped it, and I finally got it, but I had to keep drilling holes. I mean, literally, this thing is the definition of a cheese grater, something that has a lot of holes and will grate cheese. So I had to modify a whole bunch of these holes over here. I actually didn't even put a bolt in that bottom one. I just put bolts in these top three. It's staying held up though. Like, it's not going nowhere or anything, so I'm all right with it. It's fine, it's fine. Alrighty, so now I got the regular drill head back on. We're gonna just put some screws in, and I'm gonna call it for this side for right now. So let's get these bad boys in. We didn't need a saw. Alrighty, so with this board here, I'm going to actually wait for it because all the way down here, you can see there that it's broken. So that is one board that we will have to replace. Alrighty, so this one's a little jank. These top ones here, I mean, solid as can be. This bottom one, pretty solid. But these bottom two screws here, I put this first screw in, that's the only reason it's staying solid. These two, they may or may not be in this wood. I don't really know. But we're just gonna call it good. This fence project doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, this fence was from the 60s. I mean, let's see here, that makes it what, 60 years old now? Oh my gosh, okay, so I think it's all right. I mean, really, I could hang off of this. I mean, that is strong. So, all in all, I think that this will be good. for this fence post. So, bingo, bango, bongo. Alrighty, so on that note, that I'm going to call part 1. So this was part 1. We got these 4 fence posts all done up. That one had a little bit of extra to it, so we got to demonstrate some woodworking skills there, I suppose. Part 2 will be moving to the other side of the fence. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. Toodles. Woo. Ugh, now I have a mess to clean up. I have to put the chicken wire back again. Grumble, grumble.